Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an old series that I have not done in a very long time, but I said that I would do, so here I am. I am drawing the Wings of Fire hybrids, which I think adds up to be 100 different types of dragons. So today is Mudwings, the first set of our hybrids. The last video I did about this was literally forever ago, where I drew all of the queens, the pure breed dragons. So this is our Mudwing queen, Queen Grotto, and she is going to be sort of the basis that I come up with for Mudwings. So basically every queen that I drew is kind of like the archetype of their species. Breed? Species? I'm not sure. This is going to be an unscripted video. It's just sort of me chatting about my drawings and what I did, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. So without further ado, let's jump into our Mudwing Icewing combo. So this is going to be Glacier, and for all of these drawings, I based the head and neck proportions on horses, but I definitely wanted to kind of get away from those proportions as I moved along throughout the video. You'll kind of see what I mean, but the basic Mudwing that I have in mind has a very stout snout, very broad muzzled and short muzzled, but horses are not like that at all. So I don't know why I decided to use a horse to help me with the facial proportions and perspective. So I got away from the horse after a while. But yes, this is Glacier. I tried to choose some unique things to base each of the characters off of. I say things because this is a glacier and the next one is going to be something completely different. But I thought mud and ice makes Glacier, in my opinion. I think he turned out pretty cool. I think it's a male. This one, I think, is probably my favorite. She's on the thumbnail. And this is Sunstone. So each of the characters is like a stone or a rock or something earthy. But because this is a Mudwing Nightwing mix, I wanted it to be really dark and unearthly, even though the Mudwing is the most earthly sort of dragon, in my opinion. So I went for Sunstone, which is this really cool gemstone that I ended up Googling, and I think she turned out really, really cool. I definitely think she's my favorite for sure. I especially like the slopey ear that she has. It kind of reminds me of a cow, and I love that. Next we have Loam, who is our Mudwing Rainwing hybrid. I made her quite sweet, but she's a little bit thicker than maybe a typical rainwing would be. I think she's pretty cool. Loam is like a thick, earthy soil that you would find in a rainforest, so I thought that name would suit her, and I just basically Googled a picture of loam and used the colors from that image to make her look interesting. Each of these Mudwings I wanted to make very earthy toned, so I definitely got that across with Loam and with a couple others. Some of the other dragons are not quite as earthy as she is. But this is Mudwing and Sandwing. This is Gobi, like the Gobi Desert. The Gobi Desert is, of course, a desert, but they also have sort of steppe areas, as in grassland sort of areas, which is earthy, I think. I didn't want to go full orange desert, super barren with this guy, so I found a desert that is still a desert, but has a little bit more shrubland, I think, to kind of bring in some of the Mudwing green and stuff like that. So I think that he turned out pretty good. I think that this is a really good mix of the two different breeds. Are they... You guys are going to have to let me know. Are they breeds or are they species of dragon? Because I've only read the first arc of Wings of Fire. Not because I didn't like it or because I didn't want to read the other ones. I just never got around to it. But I know very little about Wings of Fire. So That's another reason why I was kind of pushing off making these dragon videos, because I feel like a fool. I don't know anything. All of my knowledge is secondhand from like the wiki, which I suppose is good enough, but I do my best. But yeah, this is Feldspar. He is the Mudwing Seawing, and I really like him. His coloring was quite difficult for me because on one hand I wanted to make him quite tropical and like blue as a Seawing, but I wanted his basis to be Mudwing, so I had to make him quite brown. But that's fine because Feldspar, like the actual rock, Feldspar is a stone, is quite orange. It's found at the bottom of the sea, I think. But I ended up using his like little glow-in-the-dark spots as like a nice teal blue color that's like super contrasting and I think would be very bright under the water. So hopefully his friends can speak with him in his water language. Next we have Curlew. So this is where we start to deviate in the names. So I decided that all of the Skywings are going to be birds. And so I just found a bird that's sort of dirty. not in like a gross sense, but just like one that's really in the dirt and in the mud. And a curlew is like a shore bird. It's like a sandy bird that lives in the shore and lives in the mud, basically. So they have these really long beaks, really long, like slightly curved beaks. And so that's what I modeled this dragon's horns after, is those really long beaks. And I used the color scheme of the beak on the horns so that they're really, really dark, but they have this little flash of pink, just like the bird does. And I think it turned out really cute. I've definitely never used pink on a dragon before, but I would be more than happy to do it again. And I made her scales look kind of like feathers almost. So I think she turned out pretty cute. Buckeye is our next dragon. This is the Silkwing Mudwing hybrid, or I guess Mudwing Silkwing, because Mudwing is the main dragon, and then a little bit of Silkwing in there. So I've come to realize that when I do Silkwings, they are crazy looking. The first Silkwing that I did was like a Bella Moth Silkwing. Her name's Bella, and her design is insane. It's psychedelic, and I did not shy away from this with Buckeye. So he's very earthy toned and very Mudwing vibed, but his like patterns and his like little pops of color are really a lot. I don't know if it's too much. Sometimes I have an issue with the too much gene where I just want to keep adding more and more, and maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know if he's a little too crazy. I think he's kind of cool, honestly. And next is Mud Plantain, which is a like swampy sort of plant. So this is our Mudwing Leafwing hybrid. So he's pretty cool. I think he turned out looking a little bit too much like a Leafwing and not quite enough like a Mudwing, but that's okay. Leafwings are cool anyway. I mean, I never read the arcs with the Leafwings or the others in them, so I actually don't know very much about them other than what I've read on the wiki and how they look. But I think he turned out really, really cool. He's quite bright, very vibrant. And mud plantains are these really sweet little purple flowers, so I gave him some purple accents. I think he actually turns out to look a lot like the first Leafwing that I did, but that's not a bad thing. I think it's a cool design, so no shame in having something that's kind of similar anyway. And finally, somehow, this is like a really short video, but finally we have the Hivewing, which is a dirt dauber, because it's dirt and it's a bug. Like, it just makes sense. So this design is the most crazy, and I decided to kind of take it easy on the like little intricate details of things, I tend to put little spots and dots and stripes on these dragons. But this one, I just stuck to like the basic big colors because it will be insane if you start adding all these tiny little details. It'll be impossible to draw this dragon again because of all of the colors. So here I go with these colors. I think it would be super cool to see him in full body with all of the bright yellow, like hornet sort of colors. So yeah, and that's it. Somehow that's it. So our next video is going to be Icewing hybrids, and this is kind of just a little glimpse into the future of the dragons that I have planned. But if you guys have any suggestions for potential hybrid names, please leave them down below. I have plenty of blank space, as you can see. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's very short but super fun video, then please leave a like, all that jazz. And if you join me for my next video, I'll see you then.